Welcome back. Many parents in Alberta are on the edge as the teachers' strike looms on Monday. Over the weekend, the Alberta government and the Alberta Teachers Association resumed talks, but they were described as exploratory conversations. On her radio call-in show Saturday, Alberta Premier Danielle Smith said the province is a bit confused because it presented two negotiated settlements and both were rejected. She says that may point to a disconnect between teachers and the union. She also says she recognizes higher wages alone aren't the path to a settlement. Let's now bring in a concerned Alberta parent, Cristin Vollrath. Cristin, good afternoon and thanks for your time. What are your biggest concerns right now for your children?
Honestly, it's the disruption in the routine, not going to school every day, missing out on prime learning opportunities, and having two kids, age 13 and 16, especially my oldest, who's in grade 11. These are important years for her leading into post-secondary.
So how would you prepare something like that? What are the sort of conversations you're having at home?
It really depends on the child. They're very different from each other, but we talk a lot about, what needs to happen, what could happen. And at this point, we don't really have a path forward. So we're just taking it day by day and seeing how it goes. And early on, we're treating it as a bit of a break, but still kind of keeping our eyes and ears open as to what next, what's going to happen now.
I'm sure you're having conversations with other parents as well in the school, in the classrooms. What is the kind of, banter that you all are sharing about how the provincial government has responded to this?
Very similar conversations. I think for the most part, we are all in support of teachers. We understand why this has to happen. It's just really unfortunate that our kids are getting caught in the crosshairs of this disagreement between our province. And, really the response has been disappointing, to say the least. It doesn't feel equitable. It doesn't feel like we're being listened to. And I think a lot of our, even my community for especially, there's just a lot of parents that are just disappointed. We feel let down.
You feel let down. Now, I believe you wrote to the Premier, and the Premier has also generally responded to the strike, saying that there were, of course, two offers made. There seems to be a disconnect. Your take on how the response has been?
It feels like a knee-jerk reaction to me. The K-12 curriculum they put out, for the most part, doesn't really align with what our kids are learning or how the teachers are teaching. So it doesn't match up with the teaching style that they've come to know. The parent payment program for kids under 12, it's great, but what do you do with that? And a lot of parents, if you would have asked parents or consulted with parents in any form, they would have all told you that they're facing some disruption, financial or otherwise. It's not always childcare. And for the most part, I think it is employment disruptions. You have these small children, under 12 or over 12. What do you do with them during the day if you're supposed to be working and your employer doesn't give you flexibility? What are your options?
Yeah, lots of concerns that we appreciate you sharing your concerns with us. Cristin Vollrath, Alberta parent, thank you for your time.
You're welcome. Thank you for having me.